Hi, I'm Michael Boyajian, and I'm going to be talking about one of my Jerry and Mike books, which are a group of books. I think I've published 11 so far since the end of November, working on a 12th, and then there's 3 more that'll bring the total of 15. Sometime in the near future, the group will be completed, unless Jerry's presence sends me more book ideas. You never know. Anyhow, today I want to talk about one of those books, and that's To the Catskills with Love. And again, there's some camping in the book, in the Catskills, just as backgrounder type thing for our relationship to the Catskills. Basically, the reason we purchased the house was partly to have some enjoyment in the Catskills, and also as an investment vehicle, where if you put in sweat equity over a few years, you can roll the house over for a profit and purchase a regular home, a full-time home in the suburbs or in the city, whatever you choose. And that's what we ended up doing. But we put a lot of sweat equity into it, and we had a lot of fun. Every weekend we had people up, and I've told this story before. We had people calling from the doorway, "Hey, do you mind if we stop by for the night?" It's like, yeah, sure, just bring in a case of beer. But anyhow, what I want to talk about is some of the sites in that part of the Catskills. It's Delaware County. We were in Margaretville, a nice village in the Catskills, right at the beginning of Delaware County. As you come out of Ulster County, you go over to Bel Air Mountain there, and you're in Delaware County. It's the Western Catskills, and it's different. It's different. Most people are familiar with Hunter, Phoenicia, you know, those parts, Mount Tremper, Tannersville. So this is more of an offbeat part of the Catskills, and it's very interesting when we were exploring it. For instance, there's a place you can go by the Gilboa Dam, which I think is right near Schoharie County, and you'll find a set of prehistoric trees. At this point, they're only about knee-high, but I mean, these are prehistoric trees going back thousands of years. I mean, they're not alive, but there they are, and they have them set up in a row. And by now, maybe they have a better setup for them, but that's something to see. There's a lot of covered bridges too, very romantic, these covered bridges. I don't know why, but they are, and there's a lot of them in Delaware County. And then one of the biggest used bookstores in the region, I think it's still operating, or maybe the couple retired and turned it over to someone else. I don't know, but it was called the Biblio Barn, and it was an actual barn. The couple had been traveling from Virginia, moving their bookstore up to New England, and as they were passing through the Catskills, the Western Catskills, they fell in love with the area and said, well, we're going to set up the store here. So believe it or not, you know, there's not a lot of tourists there, but they do a good business, and it was an enjoyable treat. And on weekends they'd have a little musicians out front and everything, and some cake and coffee and things like that. But what's another thing? Well, you have one of the reservoirs there, which is interesting, and you know, it's just a very, very nice area. You've got Mindkill Falls, which is this cute little falls, and you get to it by going down a series of stairways, wooden stairs to platforms and stuff. It's very nice, a nice setup. And again, the area is just it's different. It's off a little bit, you know. I don't know, maybe leaning a little to the rural side. I don't know, but you know, you have events there like the Lumberjack Festival, where these are real live lumberjacks, and they're very powerful looking people, and they're sawing logs, they're rolling logs, they're everything you see in cartoons about loggers, they're doing, you know. The only thing they don't do anymore is, like in the 1800s, was ride all the logs downriver in one massive flooding chaos, with the guys riding these things, thousands of logs down the rapids. I don't know what the survival rate for that was, but You got John Burroughs' house, one of his houses. He's got another one in the Hudson Valley. This is the one I like, though. It's Woodchuck Lodge, and it's a really nice rustic cabin, and you can go inside on weekends. They do have tours, or maybe it's by appointment only. We did a nature walk there with this famous naturalist out of the Adirondack area, Ed Kantz. He did a book on John Burroughs, and we had a lot of fun doing the hike with him, a nature walk. The guy's observation skills are out of this world. That's the whole trick to being a naturalist, is you got to have super duper observation skills. Like Jerry actually does better than me. She can spot things that I miss. So, you know, a lot of things you hear about in my book, it's really Jerry tapping me on the shoulder and saying, look at that, you know. Like one time we were hiking in Antiero Lake, and she spotted a like 15-foot black snake. Maybe it was 10 feet, I don't know. But anyhow, Ed Kantz, he can spot like a hummingbird on a wire like 2 miles away. Okay, so we did that hike, and he ended up taking us up to what's called Boyhood Rock. It's like this boulder. And John Burroughs, as a kid, used to sit on top of it and just take in all the nature around in this open field. And they have his grave there. And when we were there were 2 chipmunks, believe it or not, running around in circles around the grave. Yeah, no, it was and then I think Jerry got a picture of me on top of the rock, which we used in one of my Catskill books. You know, I'm a bit heavy to be climbing up on our giant boulder, but you know, and then Ed Kantz also told us stories of how the what were they called? Pigeons, some carrier pigeons, I think they were, would blacken the sky. But because of overhunting and loss of habitat, they're totally extinct now. And the urban myth out there, which is a bit of a joke, is that John Burroughs shot the last one. You know, they're not true, simply not true. But anyhow, that's the story. That's the Western Catskills, and also there's night activity, I should point out. At Bel Air Mountain on the weekends, they have concerts, bluegrass, you know, all types of music, jazz, rock, folk, classical. And very inexpensive lawn seats if you want to sit outside, or you can buy inside the tent. I like sitting outside, even though you only see the feet of the performers, but you can hear them, and you got the stars above you. Anyhow, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the book. To the Catskills with love.